Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. Also, God forbid we fail to mention it, the Tenkar's Tavern Discord server. 1,550 members, going strong, voice chat scheduled throughout the week, uh, text chat in the common room goes constantly. So, if you want to know what's going on in the hobby, Uh, the community does a pretty good job of keeping their fingers on the pulse. So, what do we have today? Today we have some. I wouldn't call it good news, and I wouldn't really call it all that surprising news. It's sad, upsetting, depressing, but not surprising. Uh, Morbid Mandy, Zak Smith or Zak S's former girlfriend just posted a huge thing on Facebook that she's asking everybody to share, uh, revealing in her words, making her claims that Zak is abusive emotionally, physically, sexually. He's a controller. Uh, well, I mean, first off, do I believe Mandy? Yeah. But I believe Mandy not just because of the words that she has put out there. And I'll include a link to this in the show notes if you want to read it. I'm certainly not going to read it. Not only is it extremely long, the, she says the stuff that might be offensive, might be disturbing. Uh, it is what it is. But I believe Mandy because this is exactly how Zak is online. He is abusive. He is controlling. These are his shticks. This is how he handles things. And to quote somebody who I spoke to tonight, it's gonna be anonymous, but I think they really put it very aptly. So, the guy who acts like a selfish, abusive asshole, scumbag online is a selfish, abusive asshole, scumbag offline. I'm shocked. Obviously, the individual that wrote this to me was not shocked. And I'm not shocked. I've dealt with Zak over the years, pretty much since Tenkar's Tavern came into existence as a blog. Zak was established. He had the hit me with an axe and the D&D with porn stars stick going. He was a known personality. He put a call out for OSR blogs that he would highlight them. Hey, I didn't know any better, and I said, yeah, sure, let me get on that. But I used to participate in conversations with Zak on Google Plus. Myself, a few others, and Zak had certain tactics that he would use. One tactic, and I'm not going to say this always happened, but Mandy reveals in her Facebook post that he had her share a post that he wrote. So for people reading it, it seems like it's Mandy defending Zak, but really it's Zak defending Zak and Zak's position. And I can damn well be sure that he has done that in the past. And he also was known to rile up his close circle to attack anybody who might be giving him any kind of disagreement, a real hell of a shit show. So, a friend of mine was referred to dismissively as the Pope of the OSR when we were discussing Lamentations of the Flame Princess. It's going back to the original box set because one of my friends who saw it for the first time said, "Oh my God, this is D&D porn because there's a man's penis there." Uh, James didn't really take offense to it, but Zach had his issues, and my friend was named the Pope of the OSR for having, I guess, a moral issue with it. I was referred to as that fucking cop. Hey, nickname stick, right? It wasn't original, that's for sure. Called that many a time when I was working, but or some variation of it. But see, that is how Zach would deal with discussions online where he was not able to control it. I was not going to be intimidated. My friends were not going to be intimidated. So he had to be dismissive. He had to belittle. He had to uh, circle his wagons. Then, as Google Plus progressed, he realized that if somebody disagreed with him, he could just block you. He could talk about you in a conversation on Google Plus, and other people might bring you up, and therefore you'd know about it, but you would never see what he wrote unless you signed out and basically went incognito. When Google Plus and Blogger offer the ability to change your commenting on Blogger to Google Plus to give you a wider audience, and all these comments that would happen on your blog then would get shared out on Google Plus, Zach jumped on it. I'll admit I jumped on it for all of like 6 hours before switching back, because I was already getting comments from people via email that they couldn't comment because they weren't Google members. They didn't have a Google account. And why would I keep people out that wanted to participate, who wanted to be part of the Taverns community? Why would I pare that down? Well, Zach was very happy to pare it down because it allowed him to pare out or cut out anybody who might disagree with him. So Zach was able to control conversations on his blog and on G Plus, because if you disagreed with him, you'd never get to see any of his comments. It was very effective. Now, to be honest, having Zach block me also in the long run meant that I was much less stressed by social media. So I didn't have to get into these uh, frequent combats with somebody who would never, ever admit when they were wrong. And when they couldn't prove you wrong, would try to belittle you and basically change it from "I'm going to win an argument" to "I'm just going to drive you away." So I was happy to leave that behind. So, Zach, if you hear this, you know what? That was a blessing. Now, Zach has posted on the Tavern's website, on the blog site, because I don't block him. I got open commenting. At least I was totally open for a while. But now, if you comment on a blog, I have to approve it because we're getting hit with spammers and uh, other garbage. But if you look at how Zach has interacted with me and others in the OSR, if I cannot control you, I am cutting you out. If I cannot control the narrative, then you're not going to be part of the narrative anymore, because you won't have access to it. So yes, he's a very controlling personality. He's a very abrasive personality. For lack of a better phrase, he's an asshole. Never gonna break bread with him. I don't need to. I respect the work that he does. There's a lot of stuff that he's produced that is spot on excellent. There's a lot of stuff that he has produced that I simply don't like. I think that he phoned it in, but he has potential to be very creative. I will not take that away from the man. But obviously, he has potential to be uh, abusive, or at least that's what Mandy's claims are. So I'm going to link this in the notes to the Facebook post from Mandy. Make your own judgments. I'm making a judgment based upon my personal interactions with Zach, and it leads me to believe that Mandy's story is most likely valid. That I believe that what she experienced at the very least, her perception of what she experienced is her truth. I'm sure Zach would say something totally different from his perspective. Um, I think in this case, the community will decide. And they've been very quick to throw others with less evidence and less details under the proverbial bus. So we'll see how this goes. I don't think it's going to totally cut Zach off from his creative outlets, but I'm suspecting that maybe in his art circles, where he does a lot of his art shows, he might be uninvited at this point. That's a community that's not as forgiving, and those are circles where you actually are meeting people face to face, not just via social media, and that's going to be a hard one for him to overcome. But it is what it is. So yeah, that's the news. Interesting weekend. My social media's been blowing up all evening about this. We've been hearing pings and bings in the background as I've recorded this. It's the conversation going on in the background. In any case, folks, I believe tomorrow I have a fireside chat. So if you would like to listen in as it is recorded live, the fireside chat at... Oh, that's March. Fireside chat tomorrow is at 4 p.m. Okay, I've got Krullion Grey Dragon. Basically, I got one of the people behind the D20 Pro VCT software, so I'm going to get a chance to talk with him. Should be an interesting one. That will be held live on the Tavern's Discord server if you want to check in. And obviously, we'll be put up probably tomorrow evening, here on the podcast. So I look forward to either seeing you listen live or having you listen to the podcast when it comes up. Thank you, folks. As always, stay safe, be well, God bless. Right as well. And I will talk with you all tomorrow. Later, folks.